Welcome to everyone. I just want to notice you that I was kind of having ups and downs, and pretty much this was a great card. I mean, for me at least, this really was a great card because I was expecting. I was expecting, like when I had a show with Range, I was expecting that it's gonna be a normal card. It's not gonna be that good card like it was. But for me, this really was an outstanding one. I was these were dream prelims for me when it comes to picking fighters and picking fights. It was really much of a dream prelims for me. It kicked off with Carlos Felipe versus Jake Collier. I was expecting more dominant win of Felipe, but he outworked. And yeah, he was one of my more confident picks, but it was a close fight. Then we had a fight between Farid Ziem and Luigi Vendramini. For that fight, I picked over 1.5. Despite majority of people, I was thinking, when Ramj said pick a side, I was thinking that Vendramini is gonna win, but Farid Ziem, I actually picked against Bulgarian top team fighter, and despite I'm Bulgarian, that's team that actually trains him in France, but I actually picked against Bulgarian top team fighter, so I got to say that my pick was over 1.5. That was the initial pick, and it played out to be well. Yeah, I played safe for that fight because I was kind of unsure who was gonna win. He had a big dilemma, so Steven Peterson defeated Chase Hooper via unanimous decision. And it was a great way to go. Steven Peterson really did a great job here. And I was very confident that Steven Peterson, he's going to win the fight if he keeps it standing. But when he was rolling down the canvas with Hooper, it was kind of nerve-wracking for me. It was very much kind of nerve-wracking. I was very, very frustrated when I was watching this, and I was telling myself, oh man, why do I need something like that? Why do I need something like that in my life? What's the point of it? And yeah, at the end, Steven Peterson won. Chase Hooper, it's true that the guy is a bit too young for the UFC right now. Maybe he was pushed into the fire too early. But the iron is still hot, so maybe he'll work on the improvements. But with 21 years of age to push somebody in the UFC, maybe the guy is not ready. He is a fearsome grappler, but he needs some striking skills. And I got the clash between Terence McKinney and Matt Frevola. I said the fight will not go the distance. I didn't want to pick Frevola like 100%. If I had to pick a side, I would say Frevola, of course. But I knew that McKinney is a heck of a finisher, just like Frevola. I was afraid about that fight. Yeah, I was afraid. Not gonna lie to you, I was afraid about that fight, and the fear was real. Yes, guys, the fear was real. And at the end of the day, the fear was real, and I afraid for a reason. Yeah, I afraid for a reason because McKinney knocked him out. So it was another good pick that skyrocketed me to 4-4. Panikianzad versus Alexis Davis. Well, I'm gonna tell you that Panikianzad was my lock of the night, and when the match ended, I was confident that she lost 29-28 to Davis. So it was not a good pick. I mean, but again, judges gave victory to Panikianzad, which is, I don't know, I was happy. Panikianzad was landing heavier strikes, that's true. Panikianzad was landing more powerful and heavier strikes, but I heavily disagree with this. I was thinking Alexis Davis won the fight, but again, 30-27, 29-28, 29-28 for Pani. It hooked me to 5-5. Then Movsarevla versus Hakeem Dawodu. Movsarevla purely out-grappled Dawodu, but Dawodu is a heck of a striker, and he was striking very well. I mean, Dawodu showed some really, really great striking skills, which was kind of outstanding, when you've seen that excellent striking. We were like, Dawodu hit Evloev hard few times, but you can't out-grapple Evloev. He's sticking like a glue, and his wrestling is simply out of this world. I think Movsar Evloev is more than just a gatekeeper. He is a top 5 prospect in the division, and I dare to say that Movsar Evloev is a top 5 prospect. Lauren Murphy, Joan Calderwood. I said over 1.5. This was a coward pick. I said either over 1.5, either over 2.5, because I knew it was going to be a close fight. Wrongly picked a side, but my picks were over 1.5 or over 2.5. So, yeah. Hey, Don, how are you? So, in general, I wanted to say that I was also right. It was 7 out of 7. Eric Anders versus Darren Stewart. Eric Anders won via unanimous decision, and people agree with me on that one. I picked him because of their first fight, and yeah, we can call it a close one, but it was 8-8 for me. Brad Riddell drew the over. I also picked over 1.5. I knew that Brad Riddell, he has good punch power, but he was not like a knockout machine in the UFC, and knocking out Drew Dober is not easy. It's never easy. No, I didn't sleep much, but tonight I'm gonna sleep a lot. So we've seen a great performance from Drew Dober, and we've seen a great performance from Brad Riddell, so it was a really good way to go. I'm pretty much confident that Brad Riddell, that he really did a great job around the globe. Yeah, it was a lovely job by Brad Riddell, who outworked Drew Dober. So it was 9-9, perfect prelims for me. Paul Craig versus Jamahal Hill. I said this fight will not go the distance, and I was heavily criticized. Yes, his fight was disappointing, true. I was heavily criticized for picking the fight will not go the distance in Jamahal Hill versus Paul Craig, because it was either Hill to win via stoppage, it was either Paul Craig to submit him, and it was in the end a technical submission, and that arm injury was nasty. I don't remember that Jamahal Hill tapped, but yeah, it's a TKO injury. Yeah, I don't remember that he tapped, but at the end of the day, 10 out of 10 for me, pretty much everything was going outstanding. The Bilal Muhammad versus Damian Maia, Bilal outworked him for a unanimous decision, but I must say that I won for Bilal. I was pretty much right, because it was not a rocket science to choose. Yeah, he didn't break his arm, by the way. It was just a dislocation. Yeah, it was a dislocation of Jamahal Hill. It looked like it was broken to me. Paul Craig was my best pick. I actually picked the fight will not go the distance because I was afraid. Because of Paul Craig's submission skills. Bilal Muhammad versus Damian Maia, I expected a nerve-wracking, very boring fight, and it was boring. It was very boring, but at the end of the day, Bilal Muhammad won, so what can you say about that? Really much great performance for Bilal Muhammad. And Leon Edwards then defeated Nate Diaz via unanimous decision. That was my first miss of the card. I don't know what was that. Moreno defeated him. So yeah, Moreno dominated him pretty much well. That's true. My first miss was Leon Edwards versus Nate Diaz. I actually expected, because it was a 5-rounder. I initially picked Leon Edwards, but I didn't know it's a 5-rounder. Then because of cardio, I was expecting Nate was going to win because of his outstanding cardio. I scored it 48-47 for Leon Edwards. Rocky was better, but very close fight. Nate was tricky, man. I was really enjoying that fight. Moreno versus Figueiredo. I told you Moreno was going to win. I was so confident. I was so confident. It seemed fixed. I don't know, man. Anything is possible. Moreno versus Figgy. Man, Moreno was so fast. Figgy is a bantamweight. Figgy is a bantamweight, man. You can't call Figgy a flyweight anymore. He looked so slow. He was having those problems before the match, and yeah, Figgy seemed happier for Moreno. I know. Moreno choked him out pretty much, defeated him easily, very much of an easy win. It was so bizarre afterwards. Yes, it seemed very much odd to me too. Very much odd to me in the first place. I was wondering actually what happened in that fight. So it was so bizarre ending, but in the end, Moreno choked him out. And great victory for Brandon Moreno. Then I got Israel Adesanya versus Marvin Vettori. Judging was terrible in that fight, like 50-45 for what? Nate looked old and slow until he landed the right hand. Well, Nate looked slow, but he was not slow at all. He didn't forget to fight. Adesanya versus Vettori, I agree that Adesanya won, but I scored it 48-47 for Adesanya. I sometimes wonder what is happening to these judges, really. I like 50-45. Adesanya didn't win every single round. I mean, he was better, but like 50-45. For Figgy, Bantamweight move, definitely bantamweight move if you agree with me. Next for Figgy would be a bantamweight move because he is not for flyweight anymore. Constantly dealing problems, issues. They're just not gonna work anymore. That's simply not gonna work anymore. If you ask me, that's not an option anymore. Marvin was shit battle. Nah, Marvin was actually fighting well, His fight IQ was pretty much solid. He was trying to chase his opponent, so I can't criticize Marvin. And I scored it actually 48-47, but again I scored it in the favor of Adesanya. Absolutely. But I don't think every round too. Maybe 1 or 2 rounds for Marvin. Of course, Adesanya won. That's not a robbery. I'm not saying it's a robbery. He had a good control time 1 or 2 rounds. 49-46 or 48-47. But again, easy won the match. I mean, I've got no dilemma about that. I just don't think 50-45. I disagree with that, but I just think easy won the match. So yes, I agree that easy won the match, but I disagree with the judges' scorecards. And again, I think it was a really, really much great way to go. Wasn't clear to me. I wonder how many strikes Marvin landed. That's a good question. Haven't watched the stats later, but due to control time, I would give him 1 or 2 rounds. But again, easy won. I mean, that's fair and square. Easy won, fair and square. So it was my second miss of the night. And one of the best scores I actually had, 12 out of 14. Yeah, Marvin was more riding around the control time. That's true. Easy landed more clean strikes. We can't criticize about that. And I'm not questioning that. Absolutely, I'm not questioning that. That's 100% true. But I want to pinpoint to another aspect of the game. And that another aspect of the game is Marvin Vettori's fight IQ and different fighting style. I've seen a lot of difference in Vettori's fighting style. It was so odd, man. It was so odd, Marvin Vettori looked quite different against Israel Adesanya. I got used to very, very offensive Vettori. In this match, he was unable to be that much offensive as well, as you know, because Easy likes to run around the circles. That's his strategy. He is the best at that. Plus, the cage was bigger, so. But again, at least 1 or 2 rounds should have gone to Vettori. Most of his strikes were probably on the ground. On the ground he dominated. But of course, the match lasted for 5 rounds. Marvin did not prepare his stand-up, looks basic and delusional. Actually, Marvin is autistic, so that's normal for him. I mean, that's it's not a secret. It's not a secret. That's how he looks. He is like a bit one-dimensional. But again, the best move of Marvin was when he caught a low kick and dragged Easy to the ground. It happened in round 1. So it was a massive surprise for me. I didn't expect it was gonna play out that way. I just said, "What is going on, man?" I was surprised. I was amazed. I didn't have any idea how is that gonna play out. So I didn't have any idea how is that gonna play out. And when Marvin did what he did, I was thinking this could be. I don't want to say the beginning of the end, but when I've seen how Adesanya moves, I was having a dilemma after round 1. Despite I scored round 1 for Vettori, I had a big dilemma. Whether he can win the fight. So my 2 misses were Nate Diaz, that was number 1. My second miss was Marvin Vettori. Anything other than that, it was straight to the point. I mean, 12 out of 14. I can say it was a very, very good card for me. People get too high comparing Jan and Marvin. Jan is better fighter. Tactical, Jan is the best fighter ever. Marvin's tactical is like so. But it's, autistic fighter cannot be master of fight IQ. This is normal. I mean, this is normal. I got used to it. Moreno Figgy fight was so I agree about Moreno. It's impossible. Figgy was strong. A few mil to lose to the first Mexican champ. Well, anything is possible, man. I heard that Figgy was having a hard time week before, and he is really having a hard time cutting that weight. He weighs normally 165, 170. I mean, imagine me cutting to featherweight. I weigh 180 pounds, and imagine me cutting to featherweight. I wouldn't be able to move, right? So that's what Figgy does to his body. I, for example, with my weight of 180, I was always cutting to 170. I once cut only once to 165, and it was terrible performance. My body cannot tolerate that. Dude was delighted for Moreno. He didn't care. I doubt he would want to lose the belt. I don't know either. No, it was a bit odd way to go, pretty much odd way to go. He was laughing during the fight. Yes, I've seen. His behavior was not on point, so I don't know what was the background behind his behavior. But again, maybe he had some kind of a deal with Uncle Dana. Who knows? With Figgy, nothing surprises me, but he is not a flyweight anymore. I mean, he should fight at bantamweight, but again, 165 to drop to 125 is a suicide. 165 to 135, it's a lot of pounds, but again, maybe it's more acceptable. I'm telling you, I wouldn't be able, for example, to fight at 155. No way. I weigh around 180. 170 is my top limit. 165 is my top limit to cut weight. My body simply doesn't want to let me cut more. Yeah. We'll see. I mean, we'll see when he tries, but he looked terrible at flyweight. He is not... he didn't look strong against Moreno. He had his good few fights and is a star now anyway. Yes, he is. He could choose the opponent. He could choose the opponent. But I think Aljo would be a good opponent for him. He had his good few fights as a star. The Anders Stewart fight was hilarious as well. Not a legend anything there. I have no idea what Anders was doing. Me neither, but also Stewart was fighting pretty much well. Yeah, Stewart did pretty much a good job. Did pretty much a good job in that fight. Just like Eric Anders, it was a hilarious fight. Great overall exchange, and these two fighters were throwing everything they have on each other, so I really enjoyed that fight. Yes, I really enjoyed that fight. Not gonna hide it. Anders kept clinching. Well, this was Anders' way to win. Also in their first fight. Anders is a clinching expert, so as well as you know, Anders is a clinching expert, so it's kind of normal. It's kind of normal, especially in this kind of match. Clinching is pretty normal for Eric Anders. Anders did a great job with clinching. Today I won't cover soccer or anything. I'm so tired, man. So tired. I need 1 day to rest. Definitely need 1 day to rest. So I really need 1 day to rest, guys. So fair. Just seemed odd strategy. Well, he is a clincher. I mean, Eric Anders, he also clinched against Shishter Jotko. You watched that fight. So clinching is normal for Eric Anders. That's kind of his trademark. And yes, about his trademark, he is a good clincher, and everybody knows that he is a very, very good clincher. So against Darren Stewart, it was a dominant winning strategy. I wasn't surprised with that. I interviewed Eric Anders, and I know that Eric Anders likes to fight in the clinch, and he likes to stick to cage control because he is a cage control specialist. I mean, it's not a secret. His cage control rocks. Yeah, his cage control simply rocks, and he really is a master of cage control, so you can't criticize him because of that. It would be too much. It would just be too much. His clinch skills are definitely among the best in the world. I back you up when it comes to that aspect of the game. His clinching is just 100 of 100, guys. His clinching is just excellent. Was it an odd strategy? Yes, it was, but who was performance of the night? Who was performance of the night for you? Well, for me, definitely the best fight was Riddell versus Dober. Yeah, Avila versus Dober. Knockout of the night, absolutely Terence McKinney. Submission of the night. I would give it to Paul Craig though. Moreno had only one submission of the night, but I would give it to Paul Craig, despite his opponent didn't tap. I don't know. There were many great fights. Yes, Brad Riddell got it. So yeah, it makes sense. That fight was really a fight of the night. I really enjoyed. I mean, I don't know who got it. I haven't read, but um, let me see now who got that reward. Paul Craig and Brandon Moreno got performance nods. Terrence McKinney got unofficial one. Well, total of four $50,000 bonuses were awarded by the UFC following Saturday's pay-per-view event at Gila River area. Paul Craig, Brandon Moreno, Drew Dober, and Brad Riddell. Yes, Drew Dober, Brad Riddell, Brandon Moreno, and Paul Craig. Okay, makes sense. Makes sense. Great performances. I just wonder why Terrence McKinney didn't got $50,000 because he deserved. At 135, well, he probably can't. He is not better than Petr Yan. He probably can't. I think Brad Riddell, Paul Craig, and Moreno got the bonus of the night, I think. I don't think I'm interested in Figgy or Moreno after that. Me neither. Me neither, man. I just think Figgy. Just think it's too big. Just think Moreno will stay champ for a prolonged period of time. They will not let him fight Figgy for the third time. I'm not sure Dana White is gonna let it happen because Dana follows the path of money. Yeah, if you know what I mean. Dana follows the path of money, and here he is not going to be able to get a lot of money. And I have a great news for you guys. I'm gonna share one thing with you. Yesterday I had 150 watch hours. Yeah, you heard me well. 150 watch hours. And my regular watch hours are, believe it or not, around 46, 48, 50. So 150 watch hours was a really great way to go. It really was a great way to go, and it's all thanks to you. I mean, if Figgy stays at 125, what is next for him? If he stays, I have to see rankings. I wasn't thinking about that, but I need to see the rankings. Athlete rankings. Are they gonna let him fight Askar Askarov or Alejandro Pantoja? Maybe Askar Askarov or Alexander Pantoja. That could be the next fight. Askar Askarov or Alexander Pantoja. I don't know who has a fight slated, but they're probably gonna let him fight somebody from top 5. He was a champ for a very long period of time. Joseph Benavidez fight makes no sense because he destroyed Joseph Benavidez. Hoival fight, I don't know how much sense it makes. Maybe Askar Askarov or Pantoja. I think Askarov is a good fight because he beat Pantoja. Okay, Askarov could be a good fight to go. Yes, Askarov could be a good fight. I agree. That could be a good fight for Askar Askarov. So, but I think Askar Askarov is gonna beat him up because Askar Askarov never stops. No, the guy is the FETC, but the guy never stops. The guy doesn't wanna stop, and he will not slow down. As well as you know, he isn't planning on slowing down. Askar Askarov. That's simply not gonna happen. Yeah, it's not gonna happen. So Askar Askarov also missed weight last time. That's true. So somebody wonders whether Askarov is able to withstand that pressure and see how it goes. Give Figgy Cody Garbrandt at 135. I think Figgy gonna lose that match. I don't see Figgy winning that match, honestly. To be honest, I don't see Figgy winning that match. I think Figgy would get his ass whooped in that battle. But again, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. That's the art of war. I like to say it. That's the art of war. Some people are unable to understand that kind of the art of war, but sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. That's the way it goes. Figgy Cody at 135 is fun fight. I would honestly like to see it happen, but I don't know how much sense it makes. Both coming off losses and he can move up a weight class. Yes, both are coming off losses, but I don't know whether Dana will be interested for that. Am I interested? Oh yeah, I am interested, and I am very, very interested about that fight. I'm hungry for that fight. Murphy Calderwood was a terrible decision as well. I was thinking Georgia won. Thanks God I said over 1.5 or over 2.5, so I was right. But yeah, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Simply, there are things you can't affect in your life, and this was one of them. This was one of them. This was one of the calls where you were completely helpless. For example, me, I was completely helpless about this one, and I was thinking, yeah, last round too. Our third fight, she won 1 and 3 hands down. Yes, I agree with you, lad. Calderwood lost because of the takedown. Maybe. They were scheduled to fight at UFC 255 and Perez replaced Cody. Yes, I know that they were, but then Perez hooked in. To change, and there's a lot of beef among these two amazing guys. There's a lot of beef among these two amazing guys, and sometimes I really really have to wonder which way this could go. Because there are things when you say to yourself, does everything make sense? There are such kind of moments. There are such kind of moments in life where you say, does everything make sense? She had 40 more significant strikes, but it was because of one round, and I think she might have had 10-8 with one judge. 10-8, yes. 10-8, yes. Could have been. I very rarely give 10-8 round, just to know, only for total domination. I gave it to Mozzarella. Calderwood had a lot more strikes. Yes, I know, but she lost. Thoughts on Belal performance? Well, Belal did enough to win. He did enough to win. Am I impressed? No. Did he do enough to win? Yes. I mean, it was a smart way to fight Damien Maia, so he fought wisely. Don't believe that. On Calderwood, you mean? About Calderwood, I think Calderwood should have won the fight. If you ask me, I disagree with the decision. It was not my pick, though, but I disagree with that. Belal Muhammad. Well, Belal, that's a good question. That really is a good question. For Belal, probably. Who could be next? I would probably pair him with Magny or somebody from top 5, top 10 who is free. Maybe Neil Magny, I don't know. Belal is coming off a win again. He had that eye gorge against Leon Edwards. Yes, he looks small, but I would pair Belal probably with some number 7, 8, maybe 5, something like that. Michel Pereira. I don't think they're gonna let him fight Pereira. Pereira is not ranked. Maybe Salikov is going to be a good fight for him. That would be a boring fight to watch, though. Geoff Neal. I don't know. Maybe Geoff Neal. I don't know who has a fight slated. Ponzinibbio, Belal. That fight looks okay. On the cards, it looks okay. Yeah, both Camino wins. On the cards, that fight looks okay. That could be a good fight, but I think Belal should fight top 10 right now. I don't think his manager is going to let him fight lower ranked fighters. Simply don't think that's going to come to fruition. So, yeah. I don't think he's going to let him. So today I'm not going to air soccer, guys. I'm very, very much tired. I need to rest. Very, very hard. Very hard. They had a very hard night, so catch you later. I don't have reffing, thanks God. So for Ponzi, well, next for Ponzi could be Belal. I see this fight as a fight that really makes sense. To me, at least, that fight really makes sense. He needs somebody who is riding on a winning streak. So, yeah, true. Belal or Salikov? Salikov. I think Salikov has what it takes to defeat him. I just think Salikov is too tough for Belal. With Salikov, you simply have to trade barbs, and Trinaldo was unable to maintain that pressure. The other guy will be unable to. I think Salikov is a high-level prospect. You will see that in the years to come. He will be top 5. You'll see. He's a heck of a striker, good grappler. So we'll see, guys. We'll see, but it's gonna be great. Belal couldn't beat a 40-year-old man. Huh. Yeah, I agree about that. So thank you all guys for hooping in my stream, and I need rest today. Maybe I'm gonna make some early predictions, and that's it. Diaz could have finished Edwards last night if he wanted. I agree. He had him rocked in round 5. I agree. So 12 out of 14. Great night for me. Have a great day, everyone. Goodbye.